just quickly and easily put your questions in there. I like how easy that is for us. So if you have any questions for today, you can put them in the chat of this live. Just know that these will be erased once this goes live. It won't keep the comments, so if there's anything that I miss, I won't be able to catch it later. So I will be monitoring that though, and I'll also be monitoring the actual chat live support / education session. So if you're not part of that, jump on into that chat, which you'll just find inside this page, and pop a question there for us. All right. Perfect. All right, just getting my girl ready. She's a bit feral. All right, so Sophie's question, let me grab it. So Sophie asked, with her half ups, I find that I don't nail it every time, and when she doesn't nail it, it's either because she has taken too much of a section with her crown or not enough. Can we go over the footprint for this again so you get a nice blend? All right, great. So there's kind of two halves of the question that go together. So I'll go over that. So the first one, when you're saying that you don't get it perfect right away because of your crown section, so you're either taking too much or too little. So basically with that, if you're, most of the styles that I do, you know, either without an accent or with that one accent on one side. That's like the majority of what we do. Little braid and curls, am I right? So I take a section, if I've got an accent piece, for those of you who aren't in UPSTYLE Queen, the way we talk about it is in a full blueprint form. I don't have a blueprint here, but do I? No, I don't have one printed. So basically the blueprint of an UPSTYLE is that we section it the same section every single time if we're doing mid to low styles. Of course, right up top is slightly different. So when we're doing that, we're taking a crown section here in a diamond, and that's our first section that we ever take with our UPSTYLEs. Whether we're using it first or not, we just section our crown and get it out of the way. So when you're doing that, Sophie, I would, depending if you're doing an accent piece, if you're doing an accent in the side element, like a braid or a twist, then you really want to make sure you've left enough room for that. So I'll take a smaller crown section if I've got an accent piece. If I don't have an accent piece, I will take whatever I like. So I'll do slightly bigger, slightly smaller. It doesn't really matter because I do make sure they all blend really well, and I can't see where my crown starts and where my side starts. If you know what I mean, it's always completely blended, which comes back to the second part of your question. So yeah, that determines to me how big of a section I take with my crown section. If I've got an accent piece, so I'll just go for it. I'll get the crown section out, and then I'm going to have a look at my side sections, because everyone's hair is going to be different. So that also could be playing into this for you. If you don't have much hair, you kind of want like quite a large section to do that accent piece in, so you can really get as much effect from that accent as possible. The other thing that plays into it is their partings. So depending where their partings are, some people's natural parting is quite high through their part line, and then some is quite a lot lower. So I like to work with their natural parting, as in where their crown starts to split into a part, basically, and I don't want to work against that. I'm just going to go and work with it. So I like to just play with the crown and just find naturally. She's got so much product in here. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know why she's so gross. Shouldn't be that bad. Oh, sorry, I must have played with her actually. Put my hairspray in it. So I like to, I'm going to get up here so you can really see. So I like to play with the crown through here, and just when I start, see how I'm starting to brush that, and see how you can see that starting to part there. all right? It's not really going into the crown section, okay? So I'm like, great, that and that's kind of parting is going to be part of my side elements, all right? And then this here is going to be my crown. So you can start to go in a little bit of that section, a tiny bit. That will help splay it out really nice and evenly, but you don't want to go too deep through that side section, okay? So that's kind of where I find that perfect crown to do. So all of this, oh goodness, all of this is inside the UPSTYLE queen in the crown section. So if you go straight to the crown sections and just watch it again, I know you've seen it all, Sophie, but the more you watch it, the more you pick up. So your brain kind of gets a couple of things. You're like, oh yeah, great. And then you're like, okay, I've done that. But you will go back and you'll hear something different. You'll hear, something different that is going to help you. So I do encourage you to keep going back to those sections if you're, modules. If you're having trouble with specific things, just go back and pick up something new from the tutorials. So yeah, that is how I kind of differentiate where the start of my crown goes, but then that start of the crown can be big or small. So that's where I'm going to start it. I could go through here and have like a super skinny crown. I could kind of go straight down and have a massive crown, okay? So that's just our starting point where we're going to go. So I usually just get like a medium size crown to start with and then have a look at it. So I'll grab it out. Try and do this side on the camera. Move you over. All right, so that's my crown. All right, so I've got that crown section out. I will pin it up so I can see nicely, or just hold it really nice and tight while I look at the other sections and think, okay, great, what am I going to be doing in this section? I'm just going to be bringing it back to blend, so that's totally fine. Or I'm actually going to put a braid in here, and she wants quite a heavy face framer, so I'm going to get my kind of chunky, cute face framer out there, and then this is what I've got left for my thing, which for her hair is fine because she's got quite thick hair. If you were doing someone that didn't have, wasn't blessed with as perfect a hair, you could take a little bit more out of your crown into here if you want a thicker braid twist, whatever you're doing. Or of course you can just take a little less around the face and add that into your accent. You don't really want to go too far into your crown for your accent piece because that kind of moves where it's going to be. If you go too far into this and say you did like quite deep into the crown, you're kind of only going to have from the back, you're only going to have like half a crown in that look, which is going to look a bit funny. So I wouldn't go too deep into this, okay? Through there. You can take like a little bit more, but not too much. Okay, so that's kind of how I do my crowns. And if you're doing it in this shape, in this diamond shape, you'll never have a problem blending it. It won't. If you're having issues blending, it's not going to be your crown. It's going to be the way, the direction that you're pulling the hair when you're putting that style together. So you want to make sure that you're always at the back of your client. So if I'm doing my accent piece here, or not even my accent piece, if I'm just pulling this back and I'm standing here by the, oh, it says I'm offline, is that right? Now, can you guys just let me know in the comments if this is still live, because my Facebook's freaking out. It says that it's going, but then it said it cut out. Just let me know in the comments. I'll just keep going, presume it's fine. So yes, it's the way that you're standing. So if you're standing here and you're going to do, let's just do it quickly, but if you're going to do like a braid detail and then you're going to bring it around, it's not going to blend, okay? That crown is not going to blend with this section. Same as if you're just, doing a completely all the same way through here. If you're bringing it back, you have to stand the back where you're going to want to pause for a second, but it's back now. Oh, great. Thank you, gals. So yeah, you really want to stand at the back when you're pulling any pieces out to exactly where you want that to go. So you want to be standing right here to pin that side so that these two crowns will actually line up. If you're doing it from here and like having a look and you're like, okay, great, you just don't have the scope to kind of get it to blend as much, okay? You can fix it later, I'm sure, because it's still in the right kind of direction, but that's more work and fiddling around. You may as well just stand at the back and do it right the first time. But more often than not, when people are standing not right at the back, they'll do it more like this, okay? So it's way harder to blend afterwards. That is like the biggest thing that I see in other people's UPSTYLEs when they haven't had this training. So they haven't had like a proper blueprint to go off to be able to get that to blend, and they might be just doing straight at the back and doing something up here with this, and then they're going to bring this down, you know what I mean? And it's like that's never going to blend. So if you're following all this, blending shouldn't be an issue. That will kind of cut that out. Am I kind of answering that first part of your question, Sophie? Let me grab it up again. Yeah, with the crown, like not taking too much or taking not enough. Have you got a like specific style that you did that you weren't happy with, and you felt like it was because you took a too big of section or too little section? And then I can kind of dive into it a little deeper. I'm kind of just guessing what I think the issue might be. Let me think what else would be. Yeah, that's mainly going to be it. The other thing that's super important that makes your life so much easier when you're doing crowns is just making sure it's all splayed out really nicely. So I'll show you again here, but this one's also in the portal. In all the crowns that I do, it does, I do show you how to correctly splay it all out, so it is all super in depth in there. Grab what I got. I think all my stuff's still packed. Christina, I mean, that makes so much more sense. Why does that make you feel dumb? Oh dear. It shouldn't make you feel dumb. It should make you feel empowered. Yeah, it was the half up with the braid I sent you. She had such little hair too, yeah. So that's what I do. I steal a little bit from the crown as much as I can without it looking funny. And that's a question for your client, whether they want to keep that kind of chunky face framer look and have a smaller braid, or they want to just keep a few like little soft pieces out around the front and just put it all in the braid. Depends what's important to them. So to really make the most out of, you know, that braid, really she could have some, you know, just slight around the face and kind of curl them, and like as if she doesn't really have much at all, and then curl them and, you know, pull them back into style, you know, kind of like that soft, so that there is something there, but the main focus is going to be the braid. But of course the face framer is like the most important part for the client, so they need to be super comfortable. Another thing you can do is just say, hey girl, let's not do a braid. Because we're so sick of doing braids anyway. It's okay to, like, that's all they see on Pinterest, so it's totally okay for you to say, hey, let's do you like this kind of look as well, and show them a twist or something. You know, because that's going to look better in finer hair, because you can kind of make something a little more of it. Do you know what I mean? Rather than a braid is essentially that little bit tighter, and it's without extensions, it's never going to look like the braid that they actually wanted anyway. So don't be afraid to be like, you know, Karen, let's not do a braid today, and do some sort of like twisted twist, or like a nice large rope braid, and actually get a bit of movement and texture in it with something in there, but without doing a braid. So that's a good little tip as well. But yeah, basically I just always take the crown and have a look at what I've got left over before I commit to that crown. So just section it out. Oh, that's what I was going to say about the splaying of the crown. You're probably all over this, but I'll do it for everyone here and watching the replay, because they may not be an upstyle queen as well. But they should be, because it's amazing. For hairbands. Alright. So this is just with the blending. So I think this is the second half of your question. Go over the blueprint for this again so you can get a nice blend. Yeah. Alright. So as I said, you're grabbing your crown section out in that diamond. Space. So that's your diamond. And from the diamond, I usually go through here, and then I'm just getting the sides completely out of the way. So I base it kind of from that peak of the diamond, but sometimes depending on the hair, sometimes it doesn't work exactly like that, and that's fine. I just like to have like a slight angle and behind the ear. So that's all sorted. And I think it was your half ups, wasn't it? Half ups, yeah. So I tend to take a smaller crown generally with half ups, because there usually is some sort of accent with it. Even if it's not a true accent, you kind of want like the bulk of the hair to be able to pull it over the rest, you know, all that sort of thing. But to help with the blend, you really just want the crown to kind of sit normally. So shake it out and give it a tap, whatever you need to do to get it to sit, okay, without actually manually manipulating it into this section, if that makes sense. So by doing that, it will naturally sit in the way that their crown will sit and their hair will grow. And we want to just really make sure, the key is to make sure at the top of this triangle that all of this hair in the first centimetre splays out in the whole section. So you want to make sure that this here, you know, you've got a little bit coming into the middle, and then the side of that is coming to the side, and the side of that is coming to the side, okay? So that is how you get everything to blend. It's with the crown. Well, of course it's other things, but this is what will set you up for success, and not just doing a whatever crown and then hoping it blend. So I haven't prepped any of this, of course, but let's just go in with that, and then you'll secure that there, okay? Do what you need to do, whether you're texturizing, obviously if you're teasing, doing whatever you're doing beforehand. This also helps doing this. So has anyone ever done this before, and you've just pulled hair and made a mess, or you've pulled hair from underneath, or you've fucked it up somehow? Yes, I have. So this stops that, okay? Because all that hair is sitting on top, and you're really only pinching and pulling that hair that's sitting on top, so you can't really fudge it up when you're pinching and pulling texture. So once you've done that, your sides should blend super easy. So of course, as I said, with your element at the side, I'll do this side so you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm here, so I am like directly, I know I'm twisted, but I'm directly in the line of what my crown is doing. And then I'm blending. So I'm blending, bringing it back and twisting. So if I'm doing, obviously if I'm doing an accent, but if this is just doing like your standard half up with a twist at the back kind of thing. So I'm not twisting like all up here. because I want it to just be it half up, you know what I mean, and detail at the back. So I'll twist here. Yeah, so then that all blends in. And I can't see where my crown actually is. I could have taken a crown this section and then just done that, or I could have taken a crown this section and then done that with that, if that makes sense. And because I was right at the back there, I have the ability to put that exactly where it needs to be, and all that hair at the top is where it needs to be. Do you normally tease that full crown section too? I don't actually tease many of my hairstyles at all. I don't like the look of it. So it's only on super fine hair, probably that hair that you did have for that girl. She was pretty super fine. Then I will powder it and tease it in the crown, and then really try and get as much out of the top as I can, so that I don't see the teasing underneath once I've put it together. But sometimes it is just going to be more of a smoother crown than like a texture crown. Like, this is my favorite crown. This is what I love doing. So I try and do this as much as I can and work with their natural volume, aka the volume that I've put in the hair, as I can. So I will always try and blow dry heaps of volume into it and do it in like a natural crown, if you will, to be able to get this look, or tease it if I have to. Yeah, basically. But that's my kind of style as well. It doesn't mean that that's what you have to do. I know there would be, millions of people out there that would just backcomb a crown everything they do, because everything they do is really big. That's just not really my personal style. So it is in the portal for people who, when you need to use it, or if you want to use that technique all the time, then it's in there for you to make your choice of what you like. But yeah, long story short, no, I just try not to tease unless it's absolutely necessary. And when you've got that initial volume in there anyway, you can just keep going with this. If you do want it quite big, you can just keep going until your heart's content. The only time you need to stop is when you start getting too big here and not, that's as much volume as you're going to get through that top. So you can't just keep pulling it and have her big here if she's not big here. So that's as max, and then I would just hold that and then spray that top just to hold that volume in the top. Yeah, so I get the volume in the prep. So I'll get the volume in the prep. I put high volume in and blow dry in as much as I can with that. And I'll do it a couple of times if I need to, just to get it super gritty and super hold that volume in, only if they're not greasy, obviously. If they're greasy, that's their fault. And the hair is what the hair is. I do want to touch on that as well. So I just push it in and then kind of spray it up a little bit just to hold that volume up here more. Yeah, so does that help with your blend, especially when you're doing your like braid or twist or whatever, like doing it over here, so that when you're doing that twist and you're bringing it to the back, it automatically is in the right spot. You're not doing it here. See how if I was to do it here, see this big laggy bit? You're not going to have that, but you actually need it to blend through there. And then that way you can bring this out and you'll be able to get that to blend in more with that side piece and side braid or twist or whatever you're doing through there. yeah, so back to that. So yeah, I do with I use high volume in NAC and get that. So any kind of volume spray, you can even use white sands. I've done that before. I'll reach for white sands to do a prep hairspray when they are like as tiny as, like it's fine, it's not oily, but I feel like as soon as I put product in, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, it's oily. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah. So sometimes I'll opt that if I'm feeling a bit scared to put anything else in it, because it really is just hairspray. Like, it's super dry, that stuff. It's got no like care factor whatsoever. I feel like high volume still has like a little bit of something, you know. It's like a product to be putting in hair to, you know, in the salon still. It's not like a true just styling product. So I feel like it does have a little bit of a care factor. So that's where I'll do white sands to get volume in it. And again, mousse, I don't use that terribly often anymore, as I've said before, Sophie, but I still have it there, just in case. So I'll use that if they've got really good hair that doesn't really get oily, if you know what I mean, because then that just safeguards me, because it's just happened a couple of times where I've been like, oh shit, that's made it really oily. It looks like I've made it oily, but it's just because the hair wasn't properly cleaned, or it still had a little bit of residue in the hair still. So yeah. Would it be the NAC spray you use when blow drying that bit? Yeah, so the high volume, I don't think oh yeah, I do. Yeah, so just the NAC high volume one here, and I just spray it in the root area only, blow dry it in, check it out. If it's still super soft, and not like, you know, it doesn't have much integrity or hold to it, I'll do it again, and then again. Sometimes I'll do it 3 times if I want to get that lift, because I want to be able to get away with just doing this with their natural hair rather than having to tease it, because you'll know when you do it, it's just a very different look. By the time you have to get rid of all that teasing in the top, then it's not holding it, right? So you need to leave a little bit of teasing. To us, it looks messy. To cameras, to the client, it's fine. But it's not as schmicko and perfect as what we would want. Which brings me, I forgot again, to what I wanted to talk about lately. Some of the photos coming through on the Facebook page, keep them coming. They look amazing. You guys are doing such a good job. But I do want you to realize not everything is going to go on Instagram, and not everything should go on Instagram. There's going to be hairstyles, you know, that you nailed and you love, you know, that look really great, but you don't want to give off that vibe on your feed. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I don't want to be posting every upstyle that I do with a braid in it, because I'm so sick of doing it. So I want to put something on there that's going to inspire the next person to be like, maybe have this, or just have glam waves maybe, you know? So just deciding what you love doing, obviously to start with, and I still do post braids if it's really good, you know what I mean? If you get that client that has super good hair and it all looks like a Pinterest photo, okay, I'm still going to use that. But you know, I have got hundreds of hairstyles on my phone in my camera roll. Can't bring myself to delete them, but I also can't bring myself to post it, okay? So that doesn't mean that I'm a bad hairstylist. That just means, you know, the hair wasn't exactly how I wanted, or maybe I was a bit off that day and I just really didn't want to be there, you know, and did like kind of a crap job, because, you know, I couldn't, whatever it is, we still have off days. We are human. All these things you see on Instagram, they are not every single piece of work that these guys are producing. You know, there's a lot that goes behind the scenes that we don't see and we don't hear often enough. So I just want you guys to note that and to stop being so hard on yourselves. You're doing a very, very good job. And when it comes down to it, it's all about your client, okay? It's not about Instagram. Yes, Instagram is going to help you to grow your business over time or long time, okay? And then when it's set up correctly, it is a really good asset to have there, but it is not the be all and end all of your business, okay? Really, advertising is going to be the thing that's actually going to up-level you in your business and your income. So stop trying to stress too much and put too much into just your Instagram feed, if you know what I mean. It still needs to look great. It is an asset against your business and it needs to look good. So just don't post the things you're not happy with. That's fine. Get a model in with good hair that you know has good hair and do a session and take heaps of photos, and then you've got content, you know what I mean? So yeah, just stop being so hard on yourself basically is the key for today. But yeah, I did really want to touch on that because there was a couple of you girls that did such great work, and your clients were ecstatic with their styles. So that's what you're doing, you know, that's what they're paying for. It's not about if your Instagram followers like it. It's not about really if you like it. We still do things that I'm just like, oh God, you know, I wouldn't pick that. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be my first choice. But you know, you're still making someone look and feel beautiful, and that is our job. So you've done a good job. Yeah, let's get, you know, back to that kind of, you know, client work. And you need to be like that to move forward as well in your business. I feel like if you wait until you are absolutely perfect with every style that you do, you wait until your feed's full of exactly what you want, all those things, that is just going to hold you back, okay? If you're wanting to grow your business, you need to start doing it now while you're learning and perfecting, okay? So when I'm like the opposite of you guys, all right? So I was hairdressing and I was very confident in my hairdressing and styling because I'd been doing styling for a long time, and I invested a lot of money into hair education. Well, both, but hair styling education, because it was so important to me to not cry when I did an upstyle. So that was what I did, okay? And then I decided I wanted to add makeup. So that was my insecurity. So that's what I did to grow my business. I grew my business really quickly once I started because of advertising. But also because I didn't let things hold me back. And I used to come home from doing makeup and say, oh, like, I just didn't like it, you know, like they loved it. They, you know, everyone was really happy. But, you know, this one person, you know, the eyes didn't look good because their eyes, blah, 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 whatever. Her skin was really terrible. So, you know what it's like, the makeup's only going to look so good on terrible skin where the makeup won't actually stick to it or whatever. And Tom would say to me, you cannot polish a turd. And I was like, yeah, no, you really can't, can you? You cannot polish a turd, people. So yeah, just let that sink into the back of your mind when you are working with some hair. Get it done and get it as beautiful as you can, and make that person happy, make them feel beautiful. Job done. You don't have to love it. You don't have to post it on your Instagram. You don't even have to take a photo of it if you don't want to, okay? So that really helped me, actually. I have to remind Tom that. When I was growing in my makeup, okay? So that just kept me going. I kept booking clients. I kept doing it until I became more confident, did more education. And I still do it. With hair, I'm so confident with hair that I'm like, that's just life. That's just what it is, you know? Because I've done it for so long, and I know that I can do everything. I know I can do any style. So if their hair doesn't match up exactly to what the inspo picture is, like, I'll tell them that it's not, but I'll make it so good that they don't give a shit because they love it, you know? But makeup, I'm still not that confident with makeup as what I am hair. I am definitely to a degree, but not as much. And that comes from me teaching you guys as well. Like once I started teaching hair or doing education with people that were really high up, and I was like, well, I can do that, like just as good, you know? So yeah, that's where that extra level of confidence does come from. Makeup at hairdresser, yeah, Yeah, and you will, Sophie, they will match up. As I said, they may not match up 100% like mine. Like, I still doubt my makeup a little bit. And I'm a little bit lazy with makeup as well sometimes. I think, no, I don't want to line under her waterline. I just can't pull it. So I do get that. I mean, not with a bride. I won't with a bride, but like bridesmaids or event stuff. Yeah, and that probably comes from quickness as well. I'm not as quick as I am as hair, so I don't have time to do all the things sometimes on an event client. So funny you say that, Sophie. Hold that thought. Yeah. So anyway, so what I was trying to say is just if you're at that level where your work is good, you know it's good, but you want to get to that next level of confidence, then teach someone. So, someone who might want to learn hair, probably wouldn't undertake that whole thing yourself for free, but maybe they can join my $7 a month program. That's not really much skin off their nose. It's a coffee, or a large coffee, or maybe 2 coffees in Australia. So to learn that, and you can be the one to answer their questions as well, and then you'll be like, oh shit, I actually know quite a lot, and that will give you confidence as well. That's the last level of hair mastery, is teaching other people. I've been teaching other people for a couple of years into my apprenticeship. I was pushed into teaching people, so I've been doing it for such a long time. That's where all that confidence comes from as well, in myself and my work. So Sophie said, I don't know how many of your class is Queensland based, but would you do Dave's practical hairstyling workshop? I would be so up for it. Yeah, so everyone's from all around the world. So there isn't actually many Queenslanders in here, which doesn't matter. Yeah, I am. I'm about to do a Glam Waves workshop live here in my studio. It's going to be a small, intimate, full-day intensive workshop. I'm launching it on Wednesday. So I'm partnering with H2D Hair Care as well, and they're helping sponsor the event. So there'll be some goodies to give away. So I will be launching that on Wednesday. I will be sending, Tomorrow you'll get an email about it. So there's going to be like an early access price. So there's 4 of those I think it's $50 off. So there's 4 of those, or until a week's up, then the price for that, it'll all come out tomorrow. So yes, definitely come along. I forget the date, but you'll get it's soon. It's like 5 weeks away or something. So you will get all the details in that. And later in the year, I'll do an UPSTYLE 2-day masterclass as well, because I do, as much as I love this shit, I love sitting on here and helping you guys. I really love it, and I don't get to do enough of it, I guess, with this, because this is only once a month. I do love helping you guys in the group as well, but it's not the same as you having your mannequin out right then and there, and me being like, great, just do that. I could do it on Zoom, no worries, but with the delay of when you're actually with your client, or when you're, it's nice to be able to do it right then and there, and see you grow and see you have those kind of aha moments as well. Because a lot of you are having them at home when you're watching the tutorials, and I don't get the buzz of seeing you grow, I guess, in that moment. So I really miss it. So I'm going to start doing that. So yeah, Glam Waves and Mastery. So it'll be like mastering Glam Waves, like all of them, like all the techniques, so that you can walk into a client's Glam Waves and choose exactly what technique is going to work best for their hair. So it's, sorry, I'm losing my voice. It's coming from that perspective. And then the UPSTYLE Queen will be very similar. I want to do it Sophie would know I was doing Norris classes for a while. So they just kind of halted their education at the moment because they feel like it's a bit quiet. So people aren't really doing education, which I think they are. I think they just don't know about it. So anyways, so let's do it, I thought. Yeah, so I put to them a thought that I really wanted to do like an UPSTYLE day that I could teach them a blueprint, teach them one style, and then in the afternoon they could bring an inspiration picture and they would execute that themselves based on what I've taught them, because that's what my whole principle with upstyling is. Like, I don't want to be like, come and learn my signature style. I actually want you to go away and be empowered to break down a hairstyle and do any hairstyle. So that's like my kind of fundamental difference in my training. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do with my UPSTYLE workshop. I'm going to do 2 days. I'm going to teach you everything I know the first day. I haven't mapped it out yet, but it could be, you know, a day and a half, whatever. But the last one is going to be you choosing an UPSTYLE. So everyone in the room chooses their own UPSTYLE, and I'm just going to be going around helping you execute that, but making you think about it. So I'm not just going to be like, oh, this is how I do that hairstyle. It's like, okay, this is the blueprint. So you tell me what comes first, you know, that sort of thing. So that's also very exciting. But yes, more details on that one later. We'll do the glam waves first, which is very exciting. And yes, you're going to email tomorrow. I'll go live on socials on Wednesday, and I'll post in this group as well. And yeah, that'll be that. Super exciting. Does anyone have any other questions for me before we go? Or before I go? I guess we're all going to go, aren't we? Yeah, I think, let me just double check. Yeah, it was just Sophie that had that question in the thing. Christina, do you have any questions for me? Your bride looked amazing. She was so beautiful. Loved that little video. It was so good, so good. I didn't even know what bit you were talking about, saying that you couldn't get the front heavier side to sit. I was like, I love it though. There's nothing wrong with it. And she loved it. So sometimes it might not be exactly what you had in your head, but maybe it's better. Maybe it's better than what she had. So, oh, you're welcome. It looked beautiful. It looked so beautiful. And the makeup as well. I presume you did the makeup as well. It just all looked so nice. Sophie, do you think there's any difference in brands between one brand and another? Are you talking hot tools, or are you talking styling products? I guess with both there is a difference. It's like makeup, you know. Oh, elastics. Oh god, yeah. Oh my god, elastics. Yeah, I've actually I'm constantly on the hunt for elastics that I can have as my brand, because I feel like they're a rip. Like, I hate going to buy bobby pins and elastics, and it costs me like $1 million. Like they're elastics and they're bobby pins. Like, I mean, I get it. By the time I bloody trial all these things, I'm gonna have to charge $1 million for these damn things, because I probably spent that much trialing. But that, obviously I won't. But yeah, that really annoys me. But that's the only option. We have to buy them from the supplier, because otherwise your whole hairstyle is going to fall apart. I think I had some that either I was trialing them, or I think I ran out and maybe bought some from the supermarket. I think that's what happened. They actually weren't too bad, but I wouldn't trust them too much. But yep, I just go to what brands do I like for elastics. I just buy them from Norris. So any of the ones that Norris sells, I get. The last one, let's have a look. So basically it's hard because you also can't test them. So these are the crap ones I got from Woolworths. I don't have the packet. It was just in like a little packet. They actually have one sitting on the outside of the packet, and I was like trying to test it. So this was actually quite good. Okay, so this was from Woolworths. This is quite good. I don't have the packet, sorry, but so you want to be able to do this and it not snap on you. So that's great. I also use them on my hair as well to test because I've got a lot of hair. So if I can use it for like, you know, keep using it, like, then it's good. So these ones, I forget, these ones are Norris ones, the little black ones. So they're also really good. Basically, you just don't want it to snap. And all the ones I've tested, crap, and they snap like either straight away, or I'll be like, oh no, these aren't too bad, you know, and I'll use them in my hair, and then it'll snap, you know, it'll just be like ching, 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 like halfway through the day, you know. Oh, what a nightmare if you had that in someone's hair. So yeah, basically I don't muck around with bobby pins and elastics. I just get the pro stuff, and you know, that's it. I get, this is all in the portal as well. I think I've got the brand of bobby pins I like in the portal, in the UPSTYLE Queen, which is just the ones from Norris. I forget what they're called. I think it's like the 999 or something like that. Officeworks elastics, you know, they're not going to break. So I use them, not elastics, sorry, rubber bands. So I use these for ponies, anything that I don't need to pull texture. If I need to pull texture, I can't use these because this isn't going to let me pull texture because it holds so well. Pins, I just get them from Norris. As I said, I've started that process as well in trialing pins. I was getting mine from KYK Hair down in Melbourne, but I found I actually really liked them for a while, but then I realized that these are my ones that I was testing that I don't like. They would actually like split. I don't know if you can see that. These aren't the KYK, but they kind of split like that instead of staying on top of each other. So when I would go to put them in the hair, sometimes they would, you know, pop open to the side, and I just hated that. You can't really, like, I don't know, just nothing beats the bobby pins that I've always used from start, which is, yeah, Norris, Kindek, everyone sells those good pins. And all online places as well. You can get Norris online. Yeah, just a hair and beauty supplier will sell good ones. So yeah, I would just stick with that until I find the best ones that I can sell, you know, that don't, you know, make you cry in your car when you after you've bought them. Yeah, stick with them. Elastics, yeah. But yeah, in the way of like hot tools as well, H2D are very good and comparable, I think, to the Cloud9s and the GHD. I would always go a Cloud9 over GHD. They're just better. I think that GHD, this is a private group, just so we know, but I think, not GHD, I think Cloud9 is better than H2D. I think it will last longer. In the way of styling with it, I didn't really see too much difference between them. But I just know, I'm pretty sure my old H2D straightener must have died because I don't know where it is. I don't actually remember it dying, but I know that, I just don't know where it is. I know I swapped to use my Cloud9 again because my H2D was dirty, so I didn't want to clean it. But yeah, I just don't know where it went. I don't know if it died. I presume it died, otherwise it would be here in my studio somewhere. Which wouldn't really happen. I just feel like it doesn't really happen to Cloud9s. So, but in saying that, for the price, you can just buy another one. And if it dies within like whatever years it is, they'll give you another one for free. So my tong is from H2D, and I've always used an H2D tong to get the sizes that I like because they have the 3 different. I used a Cloud9 before. I had all the Cloud9 stuff and I hated all of their tongs. So I got that, and the only reason that dieted me because I was doing the tutorial that's inside Downstyle Mastery of the 3 different curls with the 3 different sizes, and of course I wasn't going to wait for it to cool down, so I just like ripped them off, put the new one on, heated it up, did the tutorial, and the next time I went to use it, it didn't work. So that's a very, very expensive tutorial, so I do hope you all watched it. So apart from that, my new one that I purchased after that has been like absolutely perfect. So yeah, so that's just how life goes. The more money you spend on something, the better it performs. And then sometimes you just get like a nice little independent brand in there that will outdo a high end. You know what it's like with makeup, that happens a lot, you know, like someone will do a dupe or whatever it is, but sometimes a $10 thing will work just as good as the $100 one. Mascara, for instance, like I bought a Kevin Aquan, I think that's how you say it, mascara from Mecca, because I heard that was like the best tubing mascara, because I was getting so much like, if they had like slightly oily skin, or if I used a creamier concealer, I was always getting mascara. Still didn't work. So that was like, whatever, $80 or something for this stupid mascara. And then I got onto the White Night one. That was really good. And then I got onto the MCO Beauty one, which is even cheaper when you get it like 40% off. It's like $15, and it is the best one ever. So you will get that happening with everything. Yeah, I just went on a nice little rant for myself there. Eileen, what about silver bullet tools? I personally haven't used them. I'm pretty sure someone had one in a Norris class that I did, and it did not perform very well. Usually the other ones are just far behind in ease of using them. So I just found where you can have like the best technique, but if the iron's kind of holding you down, you'll never be able to do it, really easily, I guess. So I personally haven't used it. I actually don't even, I feel like it was silver bullet, but it may not have been that this person had gotten. And there was another one from Norris that wasn't H2D, again, the same thing, because they bought it there on the day because theirs was like really bad that we couldn't even curl with it. So they actually bought one from Norris. And again, it was by far nothing like the H2D that I was using that day. I do have a discount for H2D now because they've partnered with me for this Glam Waves course. So I'll be selling them on the day, and then obviously like online. I don't know if I'm pretty sure they ship international. I have to check that. But yeah, pretty sure it's a 30% off or something. Moira lip liners are incredible, and they're $5. That's so good to know, because I actually came across that brand not long ago, and I was like, oh, it just looks so fun. Like I'm like a $2 store junkie. Like I freaking love them. Like I get so excited about cool cheap shit. So yeah, that excites me. I'm pretty excited to try that. So yeah, it happens. It's just annoying to spend so much money trialing different brands to find something. So this is why this group's so great, is we can find out all those little things. Between all of us, we've all tested so many things. So and like Sophie had that Moroccan oil texture spray the other day that she was loving. So there's more things to try that we know comes off a recommendation of us in this group using it the similar way to what we're all using it. So how amazing. All right, well, I might wrap up. Thank you for coming and helping me with this live with all your questions. It's not only helped you, but it's helped everyone. There's you're jumping between like 4 and 6 viewers here at the moment, so there's not many of you jumping on live. Christina, what time is it where you are? Because I feel like it's fine for the Aussies. I did do the time conversion for the US and UK, and I feel like it was like an okay time. It wasn't like a really weird time, but it wasn't like a crazy 10 a.m. morning session like it is for me. 8 p.m. Yeah, so I thought it was like kind of like it's an okay time, but it depends, like 8 p.m. for me is like still trying to get the bloody kids to sleep, so there's probably a lot of people in that situation where you are, because I'm pretty sure you're the US. So yeah, anyway, thank you for jumping on. But yeah, as I said, it helps a lot of people in the replay as well. It's not just us here that are here today with each other. There's you know, hundreds of people that will watch this on the replay, and it'll be super, super helpful and valuable for them. So thank you so much, and I will chat to you on Wednesday. I'll jump in here on Wednesday with a little update about my class. And as I said, feel free at any time to post in the live education thing. You're welcome, Christina. So as soon as a question comes to mind, just post it in there and that'll be added to the next live. So I've also, with the new portal, I hope you guys are loving the new portal. I've put in there the dates of the lives coming up, so you can pop them in your diary. And I will add an events page in there as well for all my upcoming in-person events, because I'm going to start to do more of them this year and then even more the next year. So I've got heaps of really exciting stuff happening this year, which I can't sleep at night because I'm so excited. So yes, stay tuned, but I'll chat to you guys on, what did I say, Wednesday. I'll see you on Wednesday. Yeah, have a great day.